Alright, you may be wondering why I got all this shit in the back of me. But just stay tuned for this story time if you enjoy fake bitches being revealed, family drama, and friend fallouts. Or if you just like some tea like me. But I'm gonna have to give y'all the whole rundown. This is basically a story time of how I moved into a friend at the time's house, and the shit just it bomb-fired really quickly, which explains why all my shit is in my car instead of the house. So in a lot of words, I really want to know what y'all think about this. For starters, I had met this girl in high school. We went to high school together and we were in truck together. I knew her about a year or two before we moved in together, or before I moved in her mother house. But we was never everyday friends. We was always like, we would talk every now and then over the phone. We never really hung out. We started to hang out more prior to me end up moving with her. To make a long story short, I had went through some stuff with my family. As a lot of y'all know, a lot of y'all don't know, my mother is like a narcissist. So a lot of shit was really fucked up, you know? I'm 18 at the time, and I had just graduated, and I was going through like a whole living mix-up where I was trying to figure out where I was going to go because my mother purposely abandoned me and left my ass. So I'm 18 years old, new to the world, my first year being an adult, and I had to find somewhere to stay. And with us had been around each other more than usual, I end up asking her, like, you think your mother be cool with me staying in your house or whatever until I find somewhere to go. Now, mind y'all, I did not plan to be here for a long time. This had to be like the end of June, I want to say. And she was supposed to go off to college in August. Mind y'all, at the time, I did not have a whip. I didn't have no car. And I planned to leave in August when she went to college. So I was going to get my apartment instead of getting a car first and go to college. And get my apartment in August. So anyways, her mother agreed that I could stay there for the amount of time needed, and that was fine. And she just asked me what was my plan. I explained to her I plan on getting an apartment. I don't plan on being here for a long time because just as much as nobody want to share their space for a long time, don't nobody want to be in nobody else's space for a long time either. Now, everything started off cool. Like, whatever the mother cooked, we could eat. Like, they always broke down groceries. That was no problem. I can't say, like, my first, like, me staying in the house, I was always one of them type of people, like, y'all, if I use some dishes or I use a bowl or a plate or a spoon, I would clean out my dishes or whatever, right? And me being me, like, since they had let me stay, and at the time she wasn't even asking for no money, I'm like, okay, if it's dishes in the sink, I'm going to wash them or whatever, right? So at this point, I'm cleaning up after other people. It's 3 of them in the house, it's 1 of me. I quickly noticed that me cleaning up became like, oh, damn, we got somebody else to clean up, so we don't have to clean up. Meaning I quickly pushed away from cleaning up because fuck no, where they do that shit at? That's lazy as hell. And I feel like it's only 1 of me, so I'm not making as much mess as 3 people. And then I really noticed more so like the mother did a lot more of the cleaning than, you know, the siblings. That seemed to be like their agreement, and when it got too much, maybe, you know, they pitched in. Now, I was used to being with my sister. My homegirl, I consider her my sister. So my whole thing, like, when dishes start to get messy and shit, I feel like if you seen me wash the dishes last time, that means you should wash the dishes. You shouldn't expect somebody to keep going to the sink and washing fucking dishes. If somebody cleaned up the bathroom last time, you should take initiative and be like, damn, let me clean the bathroom the next time. Y'all, I'm talking about, I would fucking be having work for 6 days in a row and only 1 day off in between, and have to go back to work. And the girl I was staying with, she would be off for like multiple days at a time. And if you ask me, I think she was part-time because she only would be working like 5 to 4 hours. Meanwhile, I'm working 8-hour shifts. I'm talking about would be home for multiple days at a time because I decided to pitch in and help clean up, which I don't got to do. It's not even my residence. I'm a guest, if anything. Motherfuckers start to just not clean up at all. Like, oh yeah, she's going to clean up. I'm talking about one day I came from work. Everybody had been home all day this day. At this point, it's 4 people in the house. And I get home, I'm from work, I'm so fucking tired, my job drains me. I get in the house, and motherfuckers like, oh, can you wash the dishes? And bitch, you ain't even had work today. Why you ain't washed the motherfucking dishes? Mind you, I thought that shit to myself, and I feel like at the time I was playing a role, like, you know what? I just washed the dishes, so a motherfucker can't say I never did nothing they asked me to do. Mind you, I'm also the last person who washed the dishes. So, with that being said, with all of that shit happening, I quickly moved away from cleaning up. Because I see motherfuckers think that it's the cleanup crew, that I'm a maid, or it's something like that going on. And I quickly began to voice myself in some text messages. Like, it's extremely too much cleaning up. You don't think that it's a problem that you don't go half on cleaning up. Because I quickly began to notice that if nobody else cleans up in the house, she was responsible for cleaning. So she started to try to do me how they was doing her ass. But anyways, like I said, it was no real big problems except for the cleaning up. It was extremely too much fucking cleaning up. It was always some fucking cleaning to do up in there. It was because nobody cleaned up after themselves. Motherfuckers wait until everything piles up and then they decided they was going to clean. And I wasn't even raised like that. I don't even understand. Like, I had 3 siblings and my mother, you know? Well, it's 3 of us and my mother. We never even did that much fucking cleaning. So to further the story, she ends off leaving for college. Mind you, I had decided that, like, dang, because everybody was talking to, they was like, you gonna need your car, because I wanted to move out of state. They was like, you gonna need your car if you want to move out of state and stuff like that, because you're gonna be on your own, you young, like, you by yourself, you don't want to move nowhere, and you don't have no transportation. Also, you don't want to be responsible for rent and bills and have to pay for transportation. So I took that up with her, and I guess she followed through with her mother, and it was fine. I could still stay there for further more time than August, right? Now, I'm also going to throw this in a story. So while I'm staying at this person's house that's supposed to be my friend from high school, we ran track together. At this point, we both graduated the summertime. Mind you, I just came from a whole fucked up situation. Before my mother told me, like, I couldn't be there, I also went to go stay with her father, and he was a fucking narcissist. That's a whole nother story. We can get into that on YouTube. I up and left his residence and left all my shit. Because I said, fuck it, I'm not going back. I don't want to be treated like that. Therefore, I barely had anything. I only had, like, the stuff I came with in my suitcase. I hadn't been working for a month after graduation because I was just enjoying my time. But I had to stock my money back up since now I'm by myself. Like, you know how this shit go, y'all. And I had been traveling, not even thinking, like, okay, at the time I thought I was going back to be with my people, just at least to get my stuff or stack more over there. Like, you know, even though I didn't like being there. But I had to sacrifice and I ended up just having to leave everything. With all of that being said, y'all, I did not have a transportation at the time. I did not have a car. This girl had a whip. She did not offer me no rides to work. I had to ask her, like, can you take me to work? And she'd be like, yeah, I could take you. You think you could pick me up? And mind you, like, you could tell, a real friend could tell, like, I'm in the middle of, like, a midlife crisis damn near. Like, you know, mind y'all, before all of this shit happened, I was one of the friends, like, if I got it, I got you. Like, I gave this bitch a fucking graduation dress. She didn't have no graduation dress. Mind you, that's nothing to me, because if I got it, you my friend, you my bitch. Like, it ain't nothing with us. But all of that to say, every opportunity, I feel like I was being shown, like, you know, while I'm peeping all of this, I decided not to really say nothing. More so survival mode. Like, I feel like you can't tell no bitch you're not being real. Or you're not doing this good enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? You either got it or you don't. Because I got a sister that I don't have to check or tell her, oh, you should do this out of loyalty or this, that. Fuck no. And when it comes to the cleaning up part, y'all, it was one day, I had already washed the dishes before. And I had told her, like, you know, some dishes in there. You plan on grabbing them because, you know, basically I'm not. And she told me, like, yeah, girl, I'll wash the dishes for you. She said, I'll wash the dishes once I get back from wherever I'm going. First of all, who the fuck leaves the house with the house not clean? I didn't even grow up like that. But you know what? It's not you know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, all right. So mind you, at the time, I'm new. Like, I don't even know her mother don't even play dishes sitting in the sink, which is really most people's expectations for their home. Especially older, because her mother's not young. She's not a young fish. So I haven't really had this much interaction at the time of staying in the residence with her mother, really. Like, I don't really know her mother like that. But her mother says, yeah, she comes to the kitchen while I'm in the kitchen. She's like, yeah, somebody needs to wash these dishes. Mind you, in my head, I'm like, why is she saying somebody? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I immediately text my friend, like, yeah, your mother's complaining about the dishes. So, you know, when you get home, like, let her know you're going to wash the dishes. Like, you know? So I guess her mother had words with her behind my back, or, like, you know, something I didn't know about. And was basically saying, like, dishes sitting in the sink and she needs somebody to wash the dishes now. And she kept it cool with me, but she explained that to, you know, her daughter. I then received a fat-ass paragraph of her saying, if my mother tell you to do something, do it. I don't care if it's scrub the floor. Don't disrespect her. She said something. Which means that even what her mother told her could have been exaggerated, but I don't know. She claimed through text message her mother asked me to do it, and I never did it. But my whole thing is, if you told me out your mouth you was going to do it, then you should have got that shit done, and you should explain to your mother you said you were going to do it before you left. And you know your mother don't even play that shit, so that has nothing to do with me. Furthermore, Part 2, watch part 1 and keep up. I hope y'all in tune to this shit. It's finna be a ride. Anyways, yeah, my whole principle of the story was more so like, if you explain to me that you would wash the dishes once you get back, and your mother is basically in her head like, well, if you gone and she's at the house, why can't she just wash the dishes? And I didn't even understand no shit like that. You should have took that up with your mother to make sure, you know, she know that you was supposed to wash the motherfucking dishes. Mind you, at this time, it's so many fucking dishes in there. And I'm thinking like, damn, who the fuck is using all them dishes? So I had been washing the dishes, so motherfuckers had just been letting the shit pile up because they wasn't washing them. So I see a whole bunch of bowls and cups. I'm like, damn. Like, and it's like, if we all one person on different schedules, I don't understand why nobody's just washing out their own dishes. So in the middle of whatever conversation they had that she relayed back to me, and her mother came and spoke to me, her mother slips up, or not even slips up, but she ends up saying that her daughter was like, yeah, mom, like, most of the dishes in the sink are mine. So you coming to me about something I didn't do when it came to washing some dishes in the sink, all for your mother to say you told her all them dishes was yours. And I believe it, because it was so many fucking dishes and I was wondering where they came from. So you was expecting for me to clean dishes, and your trifling ass was putting more dishes in there, and then had the nerve to say you gonna wash dishes when you get back, when your mother don't even play having dishes in the sink overnight. And you knew you left nighttime and they was gonna have to sit overnight because you wasn't gonna be right back. Y'all picking up what I'm dropping off. I just want y'all to catch the drift. Anyways, all of that to say, I didn't wash no dishes, because I was not going to wash dishes. Like, that didn't have nothing to do with me, especially you just admitted to your mother you left dishes up in there, and then you telling me if your mother no, bitch, you should have knew to get them motherfucking dishes out the damn sink. What's wrong with you? Anyway, fast forward to the original plot of the story. So that just shows y'all that it was plenty times when she tried to get smart with me, or I even started to realize, like, bitch, this ain't even your friend for real. Also, it'll be times like she'll go out with her homegirls and she wouldn't even invite me, but whenever I went out with my bitch, I would invite her like, oh, you want to come? You want to do something with us? So all of these things, I'm starting to realize, like, I don't even think this bitch really fuck with me like that. But really, I don't even think I took too much heed to it just off the strength of the situation. And also, sometimes, like, you don't really think somebody trying to, you know, because even with getting smart on the messages in real life, I never got that type of energy, or, you know. So mind y'all, this is not even the month of August. I think this is like in between the month of August or the beginning of August, or, you know, like, it's not right in the month of August. This is just throughout time, from me being there from the end of January to, you know, her leaving for college. So fast forward, I feel like God's plan, this was just God's plan, and things start to work out in a way that it was actually better for me. But August rolls around and she had to leave for college. So like I said, they agreed that I could still stay even after. And with this happening, like, I was actually able to stay in her room and have my own space while she left, and, you know, get together whatever I got together. And with this going on, her mother had then wanted me to pay a certain amount. Now, the certain amount she wanted me to pay was like $195, and that covered, like, basically the utilities of the house. So, like, gas, water, stuff like that. And I believe it was split half with her brother. Now, I looked at my statements. I sent her a $50 payment in one of those months for one bill. And then I think the month of... So, in July, I sent her $50 for one bill. In August, I sent her $100 or whatever. Are y'all following? Are y'all following? This is all she's asking. This is all that's agreed upon. It's in messages, you know? So, she's off to college, and at this point, I have the room. I'm focusing on stacking, get my goals. As y'all can see, I left with a whip. I came with a whip. I didn't have a whip. I left with a whip because I was focusing on my goals, getting myself together, right? Definitely needed a car. Now, she goes off to college. Not one time does she contact me while she's in college. We don't keep in touch. She don't talk to me, nothing. I'm just at her mother's house. Mind you, no biggie to me. No biggie. I'm not going to say I felt no type of way. Did I look at it like, but you know, it is what it is. I think we talked like one time of her being gone in college. I even called her. She didn't return my call. She didn't, you know, you feel me? Let her tell her she busy, but I know bitches pick up that phone for them niggas. You know what I'm saying? But hey. I just want y'all to pick up what I'm dropping off. So now every month I am giving her a certain amount of money. August, September, October, November. Now let's just go ahead and fast forward the story so it's not such a drag. But the month of November comes, y'all, and I had got my car in October. I want to say like towards the end of October, something, or like the middle. I don't even know. Now, I'm one of those people. I'm very responsible. You know, I'm young, but you can't little girl me. You feel me? Like, I know my facts and I know what's going on. Like, you understand? Meaning November, the 1st of November is rolling around. I want to say 2 weeks before November, I get a text message like, yeah, so rent is going to be a total of $834. I'm going to need you to give me $434. Mind you, I originally get this lady $200. I plan everything by the month. I feel like all adults do that, especially depending on, you know, how much money you willing to spend each month or how you looking at your income coming in. Let's just be realistic. Fuck all the facades and everybody on social media doing all, you know, I'm a regular everyday person. Let's just be honest, you know? So I'm looking at the text message and I just tell the mother, okay. I just say okay because eventually living in the household, I start to realize her mother is not an easy person to talk to. She does not like to take self-accountability. She gets mad if something don't go her way and you don't agree with what she's saying, even though you grown as hell and you could be wrong sometimes. You're not always right. Usually the people that's not the brightest is always, for the most part, wrong. You know what I'm saying? And they also get offended when they're not right. Because you couldn't have been bright this sense. Let me just explain it. Oh, this 2 weeks in advance. If y'all know how money work, I'm going out of town, so I'm missing days of work, and I just got a car. So if y'all know how money work, I do stuff within a budget. It doesn't mean that I did not have the money to give her. I did. But at the end of the day, I do everything in a budget, and I feel like even if I was in housing, they would have to let me know 30 days in advance, and I'm not going to go broke or take money out of my budget that I didn't plan to spend because you didn't communicate right. Now, let me tell y'all the reasoning for her wanting to charge me that much money. She said that because she couldn't prove that her daughter really went off to school, so she owed more money than she was supposed to. Mind y'all, you know, in the simplest way, I understand. But it didn't have nothing to do with me. And I was trying to understand, like, that means that you didn't turn in your papers how you were supposed to prove that she was in school on time. That's why they did that. So that has more so to do with you than me. If we being honest, though. Now, if we being honest, you know. And I'm not too sure on how it works, but I almost even thought, like, well, would have been the price? But I'm not sure, you know. I don't know. To make the story short, I end up telling the lady, like, no, I have to take care of my car. I can't. I got to do stuff with my car. I just got a new car. I just paid for a new car. And I just came from out of town. Like, I'm not fucking off the money to that. Like, no. And I did not feel obligated to because I was not let know that within 30 days or a month in advance. You feel me? Like, you let me know that 2 weeks in advance. And my up-and-coming check was going to be short because I went out of town. You feel me? Which is really nobody's business. But, you know, she then goes on to tell me that, oh, can the person that I'm talking to help me with the money because she's going to need the money either way? And, well, am I even saving my money? How much money do I have? I think that it was pocket watching because she seen me get a car. And, you know, I feel like that's what it was because then she immediately jumped to talking about my finances and where's my money going and am I saving? And you think that I'm not saving because I'm not putting money, I'm not, you know, putting money in your pockets, but how am I sitting in a car? A Mercedes at that, you feel me? And I didn't appreciate that. I thought it was very nasty and kind of disrespectful. Like, that's not how you go about that. And it don't matter what somebody else can do for me. I explained to her, the person I talked to does a lot for me. But, however, it's not for him to put some money in your pocket. Mind y'all, I also want y'all to know it wouldn't have been a problem with me giving her more money, but I feel like it just needs to be a discussion. I also talked to older people in my family to see if I was tripping, you know, because when it comes to money, I'm not fucked up about no money because I pray to the Most High and I get everything that I want. So I don't feel like, oh my God, $200 more, I'm not giving her. I don't feel like that. It just more so the principle. I feel like it was kind of inconsiderate because you don't know how my funds is looking. As you stated, you feel me? Are y'all following? Come back for part 3. It's going to get more juicy. Stay tuned. Part 3. Are y'all following? Watch part 1 and 2 to keep up. If you like some family tea, some family drama, fake bitches being revealed, continue to tune in. So that was our conversation over the phone. We didn't really come to agreements. I just think that she realized I wasn't gonna like go for whatever she said. And I didn't feel obligated, like I told y'all, due to the circumstances of like the delivery and everything. And then I also didn't feel obligated to side with somebody that then went on to disrespect me because I didn't agree with them. And I also went on to feel like that was very childish, and for your big ass age, I don't even think it should have been handled that way. Also, every time it came to like bills and stuff, it was always sent through text messages. I didn't understand that. Like, pick up the phone and call me, or while we in the house, like, speak to me about it. And it just gave like a lot of little smart slick shit would happen through text messages, but in real life it's always like peaches and cream. For example, y'all, so I didn't have a car, right? And I'm 18 years old. I'm young, y'all. Like, I'm a little girl, and I feel like I'm so mature. I'm not 18 right now, but I feel like I'm so mature that people forget that, you know, I am young, and I am a young adult. Like, I'm still young. I'm still very youthful. I think people hold my value so high because, like, I carry myself a certain way. I just got a lot of, like, more so adult things going on for myself. But before I even got my car, sometimes, like, and I appreciate this so much, but sometimes her brother that was staying with us, he would come get me from work, something that he didn't even have to do. He went out his way to do, and I appreciated that. And he had ended up messing up his vehicle, and he would sometimes come get me from work in his mother's car. Mind you, I would not ask for rides all the time because I understand, like, you know. And once I'm out here on my own, I immediately realized, like, nobody's going to be obligated to do nothing for you, and nobody's going to want to have to do nothing for you. Like, you're going to have to get all this shit on your own. Like, you understand? So this particular week, I had asked for a ride, and I usually would ask for rides on the weekends because I knew everybody would be home, and I feel like it would be less of a problem. And she even like offered to pick me up sometimes, but I almost questioned if it was fake or not due to this situation. I don't know. But anyways, I had maybe asked him to pick me up from work like 3 times out this week, which is a little bit more than usual. But this was like right before I was finna get my car, and I didn't want to spend too much more money. And I remember I'm at work, and I receive a fat paragraph about this big. I'm not lying. I got it in messages. And she says, this car does not run on air, and if you're going to be getting this car, make sure you put in some gas in it. Mind you, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, and it's just a respect thing. It's more about the principle. Watch who the fuck you talking to. You understand that? Because I feel like people be going hard when they feel like nobody else coming. Like, you know, I've never disrespected this lady. Even when I feel like she say things I don't like, I might just ignore her, or, you know, whatever. That's how she texts my phone. This truck do not run on air. When you get in this car, make sure you put some gas in it, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I looked at the message, and I just started laughing, because I'm like, there's no way in hell this lady talking to me like that. Not me. No way. No way. I don't know if it's the audacity or the realization of the message that's just like, what? So I didn't respond to her, I would say, in a more mature aspect. And I told her, I said, you know, listen, it ain't no problem with putting nothing in the gas. Mind you, in the time being of the brother picking me up in her truck, I had offered him gas, and he told me, no, don't worry about it. He said he was going to put some in there. And he didn't. And I also feel like her coming at me, everything that she felt about her kids or that was lacking in the household, a lot of times she was taking it out on me. Because I feel like if your son knows your expectations of your car, I feel like that's something you should have said to him. And it's like the type of person that I am. Like I told y'all, money, I am not a person that's like greedy over money. Like, I don't do shit like that. Because too many people give to me and I receive too much to do that. So this lady is so greedy and just a nasty spirit when it comes to money. And mind you, even with her sending me the paragraph, I would have cashed up her $25 to put in her gas tank. But because you were so disrespectful, oh, figure that shit out. Now you don't got no gas for work. Oh, all right, that's on you. But I won either way. You feel me? Like, you disrespected me. You went out your way. You got out the character. You talk nasty. I didn't get nasty with you. I just told you it ain't a problem. It wasn't no issue. I offered gas. Da-da-da-da. And she could never be wrong. So, you know, she had more to say. But it was just like, it's just like that audacity. So that was something else that had happened. And after that, I didn't ask for no more rides. Because I'm not with all of that. You got one time to make me feel like I'm not needed, or I'm a burden, or I'm doing something that you don't like, or whatever it is. I'm going to get about that jam, because like I said, God has provided me with everything that I need. I don't have not a family member in this state. You feel me? And I got everything I fucking need. So I don't need nobody making it seem like I'm using up their gas and da-da-da-da. When all she could have said was like, hey, I noticed you've been getting rides in the car, and you just could have been so much nicer about it. So let's jump back to November, her asking me for the $400, and I basically declined and said no, because you didn't let me know in a manually time, whatever. So November, I give her the exact same money that I was supposed to. She took it. To me, that means it's finalized. You understand what I'm saying? Like, hey. Mind you, at this point of me being in the house, I don't even expect to be here this long. I kept waking up every day feeling like I am so ready to get about this house. I don't want to be here. Like, I don't know, I just kept getting the vibe like it's time for you to go. Like, I just kept feeling like that. And I'm like, every time they in my face though, they like, oh, you family, da 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 da. But I'm like, nah, because I feel like quickly, motherfuckers, I'm in a house with other people and I see other things happening and transitioning, and I feel like motherfuckers feel like they could put a type of pressure on me or looking for expectations to be higher than people that's their own kids. And I'm not gonna say nothing personally about whatever, but once I start to notice that, I just felt like, you know, I'm kind of ready to go. Like, you know. So fast forward to last week, I want to say a couple days before Thanksgiving, whenever that was, she texts me a very fat paragraph, and she says, hey, I had somebody with chemo that I want to move in. I'm gonna need that room. You're gonna have to move out after Thanksgiving. She was very nice about it. This is the nicest I've ever seen her speak or say anything, you know what I'm saying? I actually was very surprised by the communication, you know. It didn't seem rude. It didn't seem disrespectful. Like, you see what I'm saying? And I immediately thanked her for letting her stay in my household, even though it's a lot of little things that she do, and she gets smart all the time, and she act grouchy. I still said, you know what, thank you for letting me stay in your residence. I appreciate it. It helped me so much, and I'm thankful for that. She told me that I can always still come to the house, and I'm welcome to the family, da-da-da-da. Now, with that being said, she wants me to leave after Thanksgiving. She just told me this shit a couple days before Thanksgiving, like 5 days before Thanksgiving, which is not in advance. It's not 30 days in advance, nothing. A week, y'all, a week. She didn't even say, well, I need the room because she has chemo and you can sleep on the couch. She didn't even say that shit. Mind you, no biggie, because like I told y'all, I know how to swim. And I already understand at a very young age that nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Nobody's going to come save you. You got to figure this shit out. You understand? So I feel no type of way. You know what I'm going to go do? I'm going to go get it. Hey, don't even have a specific plan. But guess what? I would never let nobody tell me more than one time that they don't want me in their house. However they put it. They want to move somebody in chemo, whatever. It was very inconsiderate. Like, I feel like you should let somebody know that, like, this is people's livelihood. I got a job near here. Like, you see what I'm saying? And I want to say, like, a lot of things that she does, I feel like is very inconsiderate. She's a very inconsiderate person. That's just her personality. And it's not even personal. And sometimes people act like that because people don't consider their feelings, or it just be way deeper shit to it. And, you know, I couldn't understand why whenever I would come around, this lady would go on these deep rants and talk to me about her life and her regrets and so much remorse for her past. And it almost seemed like she mourned the past, you know? But I couldn't understand why you use me as a stepping stool to vent and get your problems out. And with the same mouth and tongue, whenever you feeling yourself, you get like disrespectful or smart, or you say like these little, like, it just, you know, I didn't understand it, but I just call it mental illness, if you ask me. So anyway, she did not let me know 30 days in advance to get out the house. She told me like a week before. I wasn't tripping. I was already packing my stuff, kind of thinking about just leaving anyway, because in my soul, heart, and spirit, I was just kind of ready to go. Like, I was just ready to go. Come back for part 4. Yeah, I was just ready to go. And in the messages, she also mentioned, she was like, hey, but I still need the bill money. Mind you, in my head, I'm like, well, I'm not going to be there. Because she also told me, she said, well, you don't have to leave right after Thanksgiving. You can stay a little longer. You know, it just depends on her next chemo appointment and this, that, and the third. But in my head, I'm immediately, like, I'm so smart. I'm like, well, why would I give you some money for December? And you don't even plan for me to be here the whole month of December. That's why you told me after Thanksgiving I gotta go. Like, you see what I'm saying? So therefore, I'm not gonna feed nobody's pockets when at this point I gotta figure out my living situation. So when she said bill money, at the current time of the text message, I didn't even think of it like that, because she still gave me an option. So I told her okay, and that I would. You feel me? But as I start thinking about it, like I told y'all, I don't plan to, like, if I can't stay there for the whole month of December and get what I gotta get together, then I'm gonna go ahead and leave. And let it have been an actual discussion over the phone or face to face. Maybe more things could have been discussed differently, or, you know, comprehended, whatever it was. But like I told y'all, anything to do with anything, it was always a text message. So mind y'all, with me saying that I didn't want to give her money for that month, I didn't even explain that to her. I told her okay. And once I thought about it is when I came to my own decision, which I don't feel like had to be a discussion, because if I'm not going to be in your house for the month of December, Why would I give you December rent money? You see what I'm saying? Or bill money, whatever it was. So fast forward, December 1st comes, y'all. And she texts my phone and she says, hey, like, you didn't send any bill money. And I just find it so ironic, like, you know when that money ain't hit your phone, but every time it hits your phone, just keep listening, y'all. And I immediately pick up the phone. I don't understand why we keep texting. You know, I pick up the phone. I said, hey, like, if I'm not mistaken, you know, you pay your bills by the 1st. Everything is due at the 1st, right? I said, well, I'm not going to be there for the month of December, so it doesn't make sense for me to give you money for December. And she goes, well, I need the money. Immediately starts to get smart. And then she goes on to say that I never even paid her for November when it's in statements. Mind y'all, the paper trail says October 31st. That's the day before November 1st. I feel like all adults know, like, I didn't feel like that had to be explained any further. You know, like, I didn't understand. So she says I never even gave her any money for November, which, how can you text me on December 1st saying that I didn't send any money, but I never gave you any money for November, and you didn't say anything? So, what? So then when she sees that I'm saying, like, I'm not going to be there for November, she says, well, I'm not going to be there for December. She says, well, you still owe me money for November. Mind y'all, this is why I keep talking about communication. She really lacks it. And I think that happens a lot in the Black community. They don't know how to have conversations. Like, it's just always like, what? Well, I'm not going to say Black community, older women. So mind you, this is something I'm not even aware of. So she says I still owe her money from November. She's talking about that $400, that $434. She still wanted the $234. And this is something I'm not aware of. She never told me, like, hey, you know, it's coming that time. I still expect this. Or she never told me that. So I'm like, I don't owe you no money. Like, what? She's like, oh, and you never even paid me for November. You never even gave me any money for November. So I want y'all to sit here with me and understand what I'm thinking in my head. So this is why I just don't understand where she's coming from, because you don't have good communication skills. Like, so, okay, from my understanding, you think that I didn't pay you for the month of November. I never gave you any money. That's what you keep saying. So I stayed in your house for free in November. That's what you're saying, right? You also saying that I owe you some money. And if I never told you that I was leaving for December, I would have still owed you money. So if I'm doing my calculations right, you wanted $434. I never paid you in November. So you're going to need the $234. I mean, you're going to need the $200 for November. You wanted the extra $234. And then you wanted me to give you $200 more for December, which is something that was never discussed or brought to my attention, because you couldn't have thought I was going to give you $634. And I couldn't even get mail to her house in my name, y'all. So I don't even understand. I hope there's some old heads watching this, because I know. So that's what this lady telling me. She said, you never gave me money for November. You still owe me some money from November. I don't even owe you no money, because your reasoning for needing more money in November and only 2 weeks in advance didn't even have anything to do with me. And even if it didn't have nothing to do with me and she wanted the money, let her handle the situation differently. I would have helped her. You feel me? And most of the times it wasn't even about helping. It was just most for her attitude. So once we having this conversation over the phone, she has an attitude now. She gets to talking smart. She texts me and text messages calling me a girl. And she's like, I'm telling her, I'm like, well, I got it here in a paper trail in Cash App. I said, what's your Cash App so I can look it up and show you? Like, I did send you your money. And I just know you lying, because who let somebody stay in their house for a month? And she kept saying I was family, but I seen the difference. Like, I seen her expectations for me versus, you know, y'all know what I'm saying, for her kids. So I just know that if I didn't give you any money in November, it wouldn't have been cool, just like it's not cool right now. You see what I'm saying? So why are you lying? Why do you have a lying spirit on you right now? Mind you, I kind of dreaded having a conversation with her as to why I didn't tell her before December 1st. Because she's not an easy person to talk to. She's not an easy person to talk to. And a lot of things she do is just very annoying. Like, why do you act like that? So we get off the phone. She sent a text message. She's get to talking smart. She's saying all this little stuff. Mind you, not one time did I disrespect this lady. Because I could have asked out. You feel me? Like, I could have went in on her. Because honestly, I think a person like me, I've been through a lot of shit. I don't fear nobody. I don't feel as though you a threat. You know, it ain't really nothing you can do to me that's gonna make me feel hit. So if I really wanted to take it up there and hand you some pressure of how I really feel, or how I really am, or where I really come from, or what I really been through, it wouldn't really be too hard to do it. I'm also at a point in my life, I don't really like to argue. I don't see the point. I don't really care for back and forth, because at the end of the day, it's going to be whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So we get off the phone. She sent me the message. She sent me, I sent her the statements. She said, that's only for October. You're dumb as hell, because why would October, if I sent you some money October 31st, how the fuck is that for October? That's the day before November. The other statement literally says September 29th, which is for October, if I'm not mistaken. You see? So she texts me another paragraph after saying that's for October, and I don't even respond, because I'm not, at this point, I'm not gonna argue with you. Like, you're very elderly. And also about the chemo thing, y'all, this lady is sickly too. She has seizures and her leg is messed up. So I couldn't even understand how you gonna have somebody move in your house for chemo and you some days can't even get out the bed. But you know what? It didn't have nothing to do with me. So she has an attitude. She says something small. I'm ignoring it, because I don't even feel like you on my level enough for me to argue with you, because you don't even have that much common sense. The way you even carry things, like, I don't even have nothing to say for real. So I think she said something else, but she's still being like smart and disrespectful in the text messages. And I think I told her, I said, I don't appreciate how you talking to me. When you get a chance and you can talk to me one-on-one over the phone, then we can have a conversation. But a lot of things you're doing is uncalled for. I don't appreciate your tone, your choice of words. You see what I'm saying? So she picked up the phone and called me. I'm pretty sure it was to prove a point. And on our phone call, she yelled in the phone the entire time. She just yelled in the phone, you're going to listen to me and you owe me. Am I that man that you still mad at? Because that's what it sounds. The anger doesn't even sound like it's towards me. It's somebody else. Because I couldn't even, nobody who says you family and it's genuine and I love you would get so angry and mad. Like, she wouldn't even let me talk or explain where I'm coming from or nothing. And really, at the end of the day, it didn't even matter, because at the end of the day, I'm sitting in my car, I got all my shit, and nobody got no money. And that's why I win. You see what I'm saying? But that's how it went. And that's why I stick to my guns for real. Not once did I really think a motherfucker really cared about me so much, because they opened their home to me, because I helped you out too by putting money in your pocket, whether it was only $200 or not. And just like my dude said, he said, well, I just feel like she wanted more money, and she probably had other people in her ear, and she seen your car, and you know what I'm saying? And that's fine. I feel like just have a discussion. Don't try to make me a pawn on your bills and throw stuff at me randomly. And you know what I'm saying? But anyways, it's more to the story. Part 5, y'all make sure y'all go watch all the other parts. This is real life, and if you can relate, also comment down below. I want to chat up with my girlies. So if y'all don't know the story time, I was staying with a friend from school. I ran track with her. I stayed with her mother. She let me stay with her family, and it went left. So yeah, also at this point, y'all, while all of this is happening, I am out of town right now. I was out of town at the time. I was seeing my family. Mind you, this is Thanksgiving season. So I pick up the phone for her. She's yelling in the phone. She did not let me speak. She's being very disrespectful. She told me that I'm talking to her like that because I'm around people. Mind you, the people she mentioned is not even who's sitting around me, which is even funnier. It's almost like these bitches think I got their morals and standards. That's some shit you probably do. You probably was getting loud because your mother was in the same room as you when you was talking to me, because she also mentioned that. We not the same people. We don't have the same integrity. You don't have any integrity, because even as a grown woman, you never on my level. How could you stoop that low? You see what I'm saying? But I understand, because you want to know one thing I'm going to say before I finish my story time? I used to always wonder why people's life be fucked up, and I be feeling bad for people when I see them in vain. But it makes so much sense, because y'all spirit is so nasty. Like, it's so nasty. Like, the fact that money can make you get out of your character, like, and make you get so nasty and so mad over the phone and say all of this stuff. And, you know, it's ridiculous. So, anyways, I'm sitting next to my stepmother. And this is my sister's father's girlfriend, because me and my sister got different fathers. But like I said, this is my family. And she like, you want me to talk to her real quick? Like, let me just see, like, what's going on. Like I told y'all, this lady is not easy to talk to. It has nothing to do with her having a conversation with me. That's just how she is. And she always has a smart ass mouth. And my whole thing is like, the smart shit be cool, but get smart when you write. You know what I'm saying? Get smart, have a smart ass mouth when you write. Have a smart ass mouth when you don't need something in return. Have a smart ass mouth when everything you saying is factual. So my stepmother gets on the phone with her. She like, hey, I'm such and such, da da da. You know, I noticed like it's been a back and forth, like, you know, what's going on? She's like, what's going on is she owes me money. Immediately an attitude. She did not come at her with no attitude. She called my stepmother a girl. She said, if it's such a problem, why she not living over there with you? And then it's just like, I don't even understand the attitude, because you wrong as hell. Secondly, you don't know what I could go do. Mind y'all, my people from Maryland, I prefer not to stay there. I got too much good shit going on in this city. You know, I fuck with my city, but anyway, she had so much to say. Just kept popping it at the mouth. It was to the point my stepmother had to tell her, like, you know, I don't even appreciate how you talking to me. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like a motherfucker never had their ass whipped. Because I don't even understand why people think they, ooh, it's an eagle. Y'all know what that means. I don't even understand where the boldness come from. Even the fact that I think she thought she was almost being intimidating or something, because she kept telling me, like, I need the money and that's final. And I'm like, maybe that's how you talk to your kids or your son or your ex-boyfriend or your mother. But I don't give a fuck. You know, don't nobody tell me shit. That's what I didn't understand, why she kept having this demeanor. And it's like, I don't even care. Meanwhile, I got my shit. Where's your money? In my ass. But anyway, she got on the phone with my stepmother. She was very disrespectful. And even when I spoke to her on the phone, I told her, don't talk at me, talk to me. Watch your tone when you talking to me on the phone. That's what I told her. And my whole thing about her is her hands be behind her back, because when I came to pick up all my stuff, y'all, this lady kicked it with me. She did not want no problems. Anyways, this is not even the last part. To conclude the story, y'all, I then received a text message, a big fat text message from her daughter. Keep in mind everything I have told y'all about her daughter, who is my friend who let me stay in the house. She says, it comes to my attention. This bitch thought she was on the podium. She said, it's come to my attention that you still have not moved your stuff out the house, and you got disrespectful with my mother, and you called your stepmother to check my mom. She said, you need to get your shit, fam. You know how they talk. You need to get your shit, fam. Bitch, you sound like a loser. You need to get your shit, fam, and get out my house. You gotta go. And if you don't get your stuff out the house by tomorrow, then I will sell all your shit. Not only is you a loser, bitch, you a fucking bum. You been... And you want to know what this revealed to me, y'all? Bitch, you wanted an opportunity to think you could get your rocks off with me. To think that you had an opportunity to, like, little girl me or bully or whatever the fuck she thought she did with her podium speech. I received a text message. I don't say nothing, because I feel like if you really felt some type of way about me disrespecting your mother, and I never disrespected her mother. That's number one. Let's really get it straight, because I didn't say nothing disrespectful to her mother. I never disrespected her mother. If y'all think that was disrespect, I know you're not on my level when it comes to disrespect, because I never said nothing disrespectful. Her mother got beside herself countless times. I really would have gave her mother the money, but her mouth is like, it's just terrible. Like, your attitude, like, and I just kept thinking to myself, there's no way you talking to me like this and you think that I'm going to give you some money, because it's like, it's almost like you think you're going to scare me into giving you some money or something. Like, she threatened to throw my stuff out the house, y'all. Which is hence why I had came and got that shit the next day, because I work hard for everything I got in this fucking car. When I touched back down in Dallas, I didn't have a lot of shit at all. I was working pennies, like, you feel me? So I'd be damned if a bitch come and touch all of my shit. And I work hard for everything that I got. You know, I feel so good about everything that I have. And it might not even be a lot to the next person, but I'd be damned if a bum ass bitch who don't keep no new clothes, no new outfits, no new hair, no new shoes, no new nothing, who don't got nothing for real but a space in her mother's house, come and tell me, oh, such and such about my stuff, she gonna sell it. Oh yeah, so they was threatening me. I don't even think I threw that in there. But yeah, she texted, she said, I'm gonna sell your stuff if you don't come get it. Huh? It's almost like she texted me like she thought that she was topping off something. Like she thought she was putting the icing on the cake. Like, yeah, and I got something to say. You bitches is pussy. And let me say this real loud and clear. If somebody played with my grandmother or my mother, I would have just caught them. I would have been waiting at the door whenever if I was her, I would have been waiting at the door when it was time to come pick up the shit. I check your location. You in Houston popping that fucking mouth. Bitch, we in Dallas, Texas. And you came for break. So you made sure you got out of town to text my phone. And you only text my phone because, bitch, you think you don't got to see me again. But you got the left. I let you have it. I did not respond. I thought it was very... I don't even know. And then even went to the point to have the friends say, yeah, and if it's a problem, you can run it. Some of her friends said through the messages, I never had no other bitch speak for me. I don't need nobody to vouch for me. But anyways, with that being said, because I can do what I want, I hopped on the flight and I went and got all my shit. It ain't because I'm scared or intimidated. It's because I feel like once a bitch send a threat, I'm going to hold you to it. And one thing about it, don't send for me, you know. But anyways, fast forward from that, I did catch a flight and I went to go get my stuff out that lady house yesterday. When I went to see that lady, she didn't have no issue. All the issues she's had on the phone and through text message and talking smart, she didn't have nothing to say. And I promise to God, you know, and I hate to put it like this, it's not even nobody's business. But I was praying that she didn't have a problem when I made it to that house, because I even sent my sister over there to pick up my stuff. She gave her a hard time. She didn't want my sister in the house to get my stuff. Just trying to make my stuff a pawn, because you so financially in a situation that you taking it out on other people. Like, you know what I'm saying? And she didn't want my sister to get the stuff. She had a problem with that. She even got smart with me through text messages. And the last time I spoke to her about my stuff, before I even came out there, not with my stepmother, but I spoke to her another time, she got real smart with me. She started trying to argue and yell on the phone again. I told the lady, I said, thank you. I'll be there to get it. Hang up. Because I don't even understand. And every chance that I got that I could have disrespected your mother and I didn't, you should fucking praise me, bitch, and kiss my feet. And eat this you know what, you know? But it wasn't even worth it, because you know how low your life got to be to even be trying to argue with somebody that's so many years younger than you. Like, you have to already be in misery. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I also went along to tell that bitch, your mother made you a flunky, and she sent you on a flunky mission to even text my motherfucking phone. You a dumbass bitch. First of all, if you know me and you know my character, I wouldn't even do no shit like that. I'm not a leech. I'm not a bum. I always get money. Secondly, you went for the bait. Your mother lied to you. You thought you was fucking Superwoman, came and text my phone. Or I don't even know what that was about. I still don't understand it. Anyways, if you stay to the end, check my Twitter, because I said some more shit. I just was feeling myself. I don't know, give these bitches a hard time. And let me know what y'all think about the story time. Alright, y'all. So I made 5 parts of my current living situation, and I just wanted y'all to see, like, this is real life, and toxicity is real in all backgrounds. And don't ever think people really fuck with you how they saying. I always pay attention to actions more than words. And what I say, when you know the game, you can't get played in it. Ain't nobody did nothing to me my mother ain't already did to me. You understand? I'm not fucked up about nothing. I'm on the right path. I believe that everything happens for a reason. I needed to see those people wasn't who they was portraying themselves to be. You didn't deceive me. I seen it already, but I just let you think that's who I thought of you. You see me? You follow? I also feel like all of those things happened while I was out of town, because, you know, I don't fake pop it with nothing. You understand how you following? I don't say I'm going to do things I'm not going to do. I don't try to get into it with people for a entertainment purpose or none of that, because this is real life. So I honestly believe that I was not in town for a reason, because it could have been different, you know? And I'm thankful that everybody realized they place. You text me from out of town. Your mother got into it with me from out of town. And to be quite frankly, I don't even think that she thought that I was going to be the one showing up to her door to get my stuff, because I never even communicated to her, because at this point, I realized that she was my enemy in plain sight. And I also want to say that shout out to whoever is in a battlefield right now, or you feel like you are, because you're really not. Everything happened for a reason. The world is going to keep spinning. And also, a lot of that paragraph came from a bitch that admires me, that wants to be like me. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's so crazy? I feel like everything is just set up from the universe. Because, you know, even with me telling y'all the girl did all those things, like wouldn't give me a ride to work, and eventually like she started to give me rides to work, but the fact that I even gotta ask you and you see I'm in a rut, I knew she wasn't my friend. But the fact that how everything revealed itself so quickly, like it took a lie for you to show how much you don't fuck with me. And then it's even sadder for you. I feel bad. Your own mother sent you on a flunky mission. She lied to you out of her own anger and frustration. She didn't even tell you the truth. And let's be clear. If you thought I was so disrespectful to your mother and you knew I had to come back and get my stuff, why would you even want me there with your mother? Bitch, you should have been there to body me. But I understand. Also, it even could show me that you didn't even believe that what your mother told you. You just took it as an opportunity. And it's even worse because y'all piggyback and played with each other. You just took it as an opportunity to come say something to me. And you knew she was lying to you. And then you don't even care that your mother disloyal. Like, what are we doing? But no hard feelings. My mother not shit either. You know, you see where I'm at. You know, nowhere near there. Also, y'all probably wonder why I had to stay with other people. I'm not on good terms with my mother. My mother grew up as my abuser emotionally, and I hope she get better at that. It's not about her. You know, this story's not about her. That girl in the messages told me that that's why my family don't want me around and something. But, bitch, you don't know why. It ain't that my family don't want me around. I can go around my mother any day. I can go stay with my mother right now. Let's be clear. If I want to be in my mother's house, I can go be with my mother right now. It's just that I'm not a pushover. I'm not a yes man. Can't nobody tell me, oh, you got to do this or do. Fuck no. And that's probably the reason why you're under your mother, because that's probably how she treats you. Just like how she tried to talk to me like that, and she thought it was cool and everything was going to be cool. I would never be back over there unless it's to see you. But you don't know my business, because if I want to be with my mother, I could be with my mother. If I wanted to have a relationship with my mother, I could have a relationship with my mother. But my mother is very similar to your mother. And I would never tolerate that much disrespect. So that's the biggest difference. And it's not that I can't. I can. I just know what I deserve. And that's why we're two different people. That's why you suck and I don't, you know? Alright, y'all. So I seen a lot of y'all questions, and I'm going to answer a couple of the questions. Also, I'm going to leave my business number on the screen, and if y'all want to, feel free to DM my Instagram. If y'all have any resources or if y'all want to help me out, I'm in Dallas, Texas. And another thing, I've seen people like offering their homes to me. I'm fucking traumatized. I am not coming. Now, for starters, I think that a lot of y'all think that I went and got a brand new Mercedes Benz. I did not. This is a used cash car. It's not no updated year. And y'all probably assume that shit because I got a smart ass mouth. I be popping my shit like I'm fake shit talking. But no, this is not a new car off the lot. This is a cash car. And a lot of y'all talked about me going out of town. I went out of town to get my car. I originally wanted a Honda. Them bitches was $8,000. So a lot of y'all feel like I'm not smart with money management. It's a reason I'm in this fucking Benz. It was the cheapest thing. It wasn't $8,000. Some people ask why I didn't stay with the friend I was with originally. So originally, I was staying with my homegirl, who I call my sister. I consider her my sister. I was staying with her. Funny story. This is a whole never storm me out big story time later. I went to Chicago, and you know, my sister's mother is a little bit, I would say, similar to mine in her own way. And they had whatever they had. They exchanged whatever they exchanged with each other. And because of that, her mother was like, I had to go. And I think my sister also ended up leaving behind me like a month later. So that's why I did not stay with my sister. And a lot of people talked about in the comments, y'all think y'all know something? Oh, why you can't stay with nobody? It must be your fault. I think y'all think that, I don't think y'all think mental illness is as heavy as it is. I don't think y'all understand that people really be fucked up. And it's not just one way. It's not just two people. It's not just one person. And when I say mentally ill, if you a narcissist, that's a mental illness. You have a personality disorder. Just as you could tell, like that lady went off on the phone like that, I triggered something in her. That's why she did that shit. Also, somebody commented in my comments and said that, oh, why do you feel like she had to communicate with you, but you're not communicating with her? a lot of the responses, I could tell y'all just never been through no shit. Like, first of all, if I'm now realizing how she's playing the game with me, and I see that she's more so like my enemy more than having my back and looking out for me, and she's inconsiderate, why the fuck would I keep letting her know my next move? And a lot of y'all are very annoying in the comments, like thinking y'all know some shit. Like, for example, my first video, bitches in the comments like, oh yeah, if you standing for free, I don't see why you can't clean up. Not once in the video did I state like I don't want to clean up or I didn't appreciate having to clean up. I never said no shit like that. I said that I went out my way, and this is the thing too I didn't even mention in the video. When I'm saying that I'm washing the dishes in the sink, any dishes that I had already fucking been washing. So I wash out every dish that I use, and I'm washing additional dishes that don't even belong to me that's just sitting in the fucking sink. And that's why y'all think y'all know everything. And I had to realize, like, it ain't for certain people to understand. If you don't mind somebody, like, using you and trying to, like, you know, take advantage of the fact that you are helping around the house, then we just two different people. And that's why I'm sitting right here. You sitting where you at. Some people even want to speak on the fact, like, oh, she helped you a lot, da-da-da-da. I don't feel as though it's like, oh, she didn't help me, she didn't. I feel like, don't try to make it like a ponder. Like, don't try to make it like, oh, I'm housing you, so if I say, oh, no, bitch, you gonna have to take that up with whoever on the next. You see what I'm saying? And that's the difference between me and y'all bitches and whoever else. Like, can't nobody run me or tell me what to do or try to put that pressure on my back. Like, I'm not that type of person. Take it up with whoever. You know, like, you talk to them like that, you don't talk to me like that. And that's what gotta be overstood. And for the record, shout out all the girlies that, like, did DM me and reach out to me. I got all the messages, and I'm very appreciative. I feel so good because my whole reasoning for even coming out about the story was more so to touch other people so people could know this shit is real life. Like, most of the times on the internet, I feel like people showing the glitz and the gram and shit like that, but this is real fucking life. It's really something going on, like, you know? And a lot of people just, I think a lot of people in my comments just so opinionated because y'all never been through nothing. Like, y'all don't know what it's like, and you almost, like, choosing not to comprehend. Even for some people to comment like, oh, you should clean up if you stand there free. Like, first of all, you got to clean up anywhere you go. Stand there free or not. Cleaning up is a part of life. You feel me? So, it's like, it doesn't even equivalent to cleaning and then people purposely dirtying up or being very careless because they know you're going to clean it up. That's two different things. And also, I want to say this about my 5 parts that I made about my living situation. A lot of y'all got upset with me because y'all are intimidated by my purpose. I understand my independence and I understand who I am. It could be very intimidating. I understand. Because a lot of y'all wanted me to give the lady so much flowers. And don't get me wrong, she did do good until she didn't. And I don't owe it. You feel what I'm saying? Just the same way that she let me in, we can't fake like the money that I put in her pocket didn't help her as well. You see what I'm saying? I think a lot of y'all been treated like certain ways and y'all grew up in such dysfunction that y'all think that y'all have this one mindset, and I so happen to not be there. So it almost irritated y'all, and a lot of y'all think that I have entitlement. No, I understand that I'm an adult. I understand that if you genuinely offered it to me, like, what is the claps? Like, you see what I'm saying? And if it was so genuine, why did it turn so hectic? Like, I understand all of these things, and it almost bothers so many people. And one thing I got to say is, everybody think they did me a favor, but y'all gave me a placeholder. That's all y'all did. Y'all didn't do me no fucking favors. To some people, they feel like, oh, somebody opened their home to me. So, no, people always do shit with secret motives. And it always comes out. So, no, I won't give no bitch no motherfucking flowers. Who I know, like, I know this shit. When you know the game, you can't get played in it. All y'all listening. I don't even understand why some people try to bring that raw shit under my comments. You could tell by my personality and demeanor, I'm too smart. Fuck on. But y'all was placeholders for me, and I'm gonna explain why I'm saying this, because I know somebody else is watching, been through the same thing. Y'all are placeholders to me because you allowed me to stay in your house, but I had to work hard to be in your house. I wasn't just there, and it's a lot of shit that I need. Like, this is my first time in adulthood, for real. It's a lot of shit that I need. Nobody was helping me with nothing. Like, if anything, that lady could have been, like, helping me so I could get the fuck out of her house, like, finding different resources. Like, y'all are older than me. Even when I stayed with my mother, she would not help me get my driver's license. When I stayed with my grandfather, he wouldn't help me with shit. Y'all was placeholders. And I got this effect on me that always reveals who people truly are. And that's why a lot of people don't make it around me. If you are genuine, come as you are. And that's it. In the moment that shit slips up and we see the mask come off, it's going to be revealed all on the floor, blood splattered. And another thing, I feel like when it come to this situation, motherfuckers could say what they want to say, but can't nobody discredit my character. Nobody in that house could say, oh, she really this, that. Nobody can say no shit about me like that, because I really am who I portray myself as, and that's the only difference between me and everybody else. I don't care. And then I want to comment on this too. Like, some people was in the comments like, oh, if she giving you rides in her car, like she was supposed to give her gas, da-da-da-da. Even if she offered, you should have still gave it to her. Mind y'all, this, like, yeah, I'm smart, but in the same token, like, this lady almost told me, like, she offered me ride. So in a sense, I kind of took her up on it, not thinking that it was an issue or a problem. Not exactly when she said it, but eventually, like, the lady tried to portray herself as genuine. So if that's the case, like, and people also choose to hear what they want to hear, because I also said in the video that I don't expect for nobody to do nothing for me. Like, look at my predicament. Like, I already been in the hard way. You understand? You don't. But y'all have to always read between the lines. Like, clearly it was something that people was making cool for me to even had ex. And I just feel like that's why I say, like, people really, like, put you on a pedestal because they looking at you and they looking at everything you got. They looking at how you talk, how you project yourself. Like, I am still young. I'm a young girl. Like, if you think about it. And it's like, if I did ask for a ride for work, what is the problem with that? And then also some people spoke on, like, they say you shouldn't expect her to take you to work even if that's your friend. Y'all ears is clogged up. Didn't I say whenever I had it, I used to help this bitch? Didn't I say I gave her whatever I had? So I kind of just looked at it like, damn, this somebody, like, whenever I had it, I broke bread with them. So I looked at it like, okay, if you supposed to be my friend and you see all I need is a ride from you, why you couldn't do it? A lot of y'all don't have real friendships. And a lot of people, like, just because she's your friend. No, the bitch was never my fucking friend. Are y'all listening? Like, are y'all listening? She was never my friend. It don't have nothing to do with a friend because we was not friends. Like somebody commented, that was your roommate. So it's not just because she's your friend, she don't have to take the work. No, she's not my friend. She was never my friend at all. That's what y'all didn't get from the story that I was saying. Like, it's like you could say a million shit, but if a person's mind don't operate a certain way, they won't comprehend. Y'all are so fucking dumb. Like, literally. That wasn't me implying she was my friend. That was me implying the bitch was fake. Like, if you was listening to the story. Me speaking out about my living situation, I hope that did touch somebody else to know that, somebody else going through something similar, or, because that's another thing. When I used to go through shit, I used to think I was the only person going through that shit. Other people going through that shit too. But one more thing too, y'all, ever since I posted that video, I also feel some type of way. Like, I think some of y'all think I'm desperate or something. Like, that kind of irritated me. Like, clearly I'm gonna have to, like, get it together. But, like, people was opening their houses to me. I'm like, where the fuck they do that at? Like, I'm a stranger. Like, that's cool, that's cute, but, like, no. It's giving, like, you trying to get me. It's giving, what's that little show, Get Out? Like, no. And I appreciate it, like, that's sweet and all, but, like, y'all, if I'm saying I live with somebody else and the girl was my friend, I'm not about to come with y'all strangers. No. I did not say I was desperate, like, no. And then, y'all, some girl had came in my DM. I said, I don't even know what be going on. She came in my DM and told me, I think she was like, girl, I'm in Utah, you could come stay with me. And I was like, no, thank you. Thank you, but, I'm in Dallas, though. Anyways, you see what I'm saying? She sends me, like, she like, yeah, you could come stay with me for $650 a month and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, bitch, I just told you no. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that is insane. Like, and then it's like $650. Like, you giving me, like, you ain't even never spoke to me on the phone. Like, you just, like, offering me to move up in your house. Like, I'm like, for all of that shit, like, baby, it's gonna cost me probably $650 to get out there. Like, I'm like, baby, for that, I could just go ahead and get my own shit like I'm doing. Like, that's crazy. And clearly, I'm not looking for no roommate type of vibes. Like, I don't know, bro.